Alrighty, I want to make this video real quick to explain how you can make desktop shortcuts in Ubuntu Linux. This should work for any Linux distribution that uses the Gnome desktop environment like Ubuntu does. Um, Actually, it should work in any Linux distribution, but you probably won't need to do this unless you're on Gnome. The reason for that is because the people at Gnome seem to have something against desktop shortcuts. Like if you click on an application, there's no option to add it to your desktop shortcuts. And the same is true if you go in here. Let's say I want to put this on my desktop. There's no option to put it on your desktop. So I don't know. They make it difficult, but you can still do it. As you can see, I have desktop shortcuts over here that they do work. For instance, let's start Brave browser. There we go. See, it works perfectly fine. So let's say you want to make some desktop shortcuts. Let's do that. So I'm going to delete this Brave browser shortcut. Let's pretend like that doesn't exist. And let's say I want to make a shortcut to Brave browser. So it's really simple. You're just going to open up a terminal window and cd into your desktop. Okay, so now that we're in our desktop, we're going to make a file that ends in .desktop. So if I want to make a shortcut for Brave, I could call it brave.desktop. I could call it, bravebrowser.desktop, whatever. I can call it whatever I want. I'm going to call it brave.desktop, and I'm going to hit touch. That means make the file. Okay. So there it is right there. There's the file. Now let's edit that file. Okay. So what are we going to put in here? All right. What are we going to put in here? Well, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make these square brackets on the first line, and we're going to put in here desktop entry. At least I think that's what's supposed to be there. We'll see if it works, and I can fix it later if it doesn't work. Okay, the next thing you need to do is say type equals application. Okay, you always need to put that in there for some reason. Then you need to give it a name. So this is the name that's actually going to appear on your desktop. So let's just call it Brave. The next thing that you need to give it is an executable. So that's going to be exec. Okay. Now, what executable are you going to give it? Well, you need to give it the path to the binary executable that actually launches this file. And the easiest way to do that is to go back to your terminal and oh, hang on, let's reopen that. Okay, just so I get my terminal back. Okay, go into your desktop or into your terminal, and whatever your package name is, Brave, type in which Brave. Actually, is it called Brave? Is it called Brave? This is another way you can search for it. If it's an apt, is it an apt? Yeah, it's called Brave browser, not Brave. Okay, so let's do which Brave browser. Okay, and then that is the binary executable file. Let's copy that path, put that over there. Okay, and now this is all of the required entries. Now there's two other entries that you probably want to put in here. The first one being terminal equals false. What that means is that when you actually, what this is doing is it's basically just a shortcut to put this command into your terminal from the desktop. So terminal equals false means it's not going to open up a terminal window that's going to stay open while the program is running. It's just going to keep all of that in the background. Okay, so that, you don't want an extra window that you don't need. So terminal equals false is probably what you're going to want to put in there. The final thing that you need to give it, where you don't need to give it, but you probably want to give it, is an icon. So you need to tell it what image you actually want to use for the desktop icon. Now, all of these apps come preloaded with an icon. So there has to be an image file somewhere in the installation, right? Otherwise, it wouldn't be able to display, this nice looking icon here. So the easiest way to find that is to cd into your root directory, okay, this one /, and now you're going to enter in the following command, okay? This one's a bit complicated, so you're going to do find, okay, that's the find command, it finds files. You need to tell it what directory to search through. You can either tell it to search through this current directory or the root directory. In the case that you're CD'd into the root directory, they're both the same. So you may as well just use the dot. So find in this directory, search by name. We want to find files that end with the extension .png, okay? Now, often when using this find command, there's going to be a lot of permission denied errors because you're not logged in as the root user. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take all of these error messages and redirect them to dev null so that they don't clutter up the output. Okay, so this is going to display all the PNG files in the system that I have permission to access. So I'm going to take this output and I'm going to search it using grep, and I'm going to ignore case. Okay, the dash I means ignore case, and I'm going to search it for the package name that I want to find the icon for, in this case Brave. Okay, and it seems like there's actually a lot, so that's probably enough. That's probably what we need, because there's probably a whole bunch of image icons that come preloaded with Brave. So probably want the highest resolution one. I think this one is what we want. Okay, so we're going to copy that and we're going to put that in here, paste. Okay, and oh, that dot shouldn't be in there. Okay, and this should work. Let's minimize this, let's save this. Okay, and if you try clicking on it, it says invalid permissions. That's okay, you just got to right click, hit allow launching, and what do you know? It opens up your application. Okay, so perfect. So the question now is, or not the question now, the final thing that you might want to do, there's actually a second way to get the desktop shortcut on there. When you write this file from scratch, this .desktop file, so cd, desktop, when you write these files by manually, there's often a lot of extra functionality that you're going to be missing. So for instance, when you right-click on the Steam desktop icon, there's a whole bunch of options here. Or maybe this one, or Chrome or something. But there's often, options that are like, open up an incognito window, for example. Yeah, there's like new incognito window, and for Steam there's like, big picture mode. So these are all options that are baked into the .desktop file. And if you want to retain that functionality, you're probably not going to want to write the desktop file by yourself. So often what you can do, so usually these applications come installed with a .desktop file, you just got to search for it and then put that on your desktop. So yeah, let's try, for instance, with OBS. So we're basically going to do the same procedure that we used to find the icon, but we're just going to do it to find the desktop shortcut. So we're going to go find in the root directory, search by name, search by files that end with the extension .desktop, okay, and then search this output for the application we want, OBS, okay. Oh, and I forgot, redirect the error messages. And there we go. So now all we have to do, okay, all we have to do now is just take this file and copy that to our desktop. And there it is, right there. Right click it, allow launching, and okay, I already have OBS running, obviously, to record my screen, but it works, right? So there you go. Yeah, that's it. That's all you need to know. All right, bye.